I'd like the Republicans to have a plan. I'd like them to succeed from time to time. This vote today with Jim Jordan looks like, it looks close at least, but close if we were playing hand grenades would count. But we're not playing hand grenades. Tell me the situation in Washington.
Well, I see what you did there with the horseshoes and hand grenades reference. Look, let me just first say, like us to have a plan. I agree with you. Glenn, look, I have a plan. A number of us have a plan in terms of what we believe we ought to be doing to constrain spending, use the appropriations process to stop what's going on here with the abuse of our liberties and, tyrannical government, to secure the border. We passed a bill to do that. I mean, everybody needs to remember, so we're not always in despair. We passed the best border bill we've ever passed. That took an enormous amount of work. Now we got to do something with it. That's the whole point. We've got to stand strong, stop giving a blank check to Ukraine, all those things. We do have a plan to try to wrestle this government back from a tyrannical president. But now the question is how we're going to do it and how much we get Republicans to do the right thing. And remember, 10 years ago today, or give or take today, 10 years ago this month, we just ended the Obamacare shutdown when I was Ted Cruz's chief of staff. We were meeting in the basement of Tortilla Coast, a little rump group of 10 members of Congress and Ted Cruz. Now we have the Freedom Caucus. It's been formed. Jim Jordan helped form it. Donald Trump has come into the White House and shaken up this town. We've had an enormous change in that. Can you imagine if 10 years ago we'd have said Jim Jordan might become Speaker of the House?
No. The upside is very, very good. I'm not concerned about your plan or, some that I support in Washington. I'm very concerned about those whose plan includes, hey, you know what, maybe we can get a real moderate to, team up with the Democrats and then we could rule together. Oh, my gosh.
Well, so Glenn, yes, some of that rhetoric is crazy. Now, a lot of it's overstated, right? I mean, I had a conversation with one of my colleagues, I'm not going to name, who's one of the few, and he was upset because he said people are out there saying, I'm going to go cut a deal for Hakeem Jeffries. He's like, I'm never going to do that. He's a socialist. He's crazy. So a lot of that is overstated. We'll see what happens. Mm-hmm. Our perspective is we'll go to the floor. Jim's been working it all weekend. I was working it all weekend. I was calling colleagues. We were working to figure out a plan and work through it. We'll see what happens. Right now, the numbers are somewhere between 5 and 10, I think. You never know how the dynamic plays on the floor, but once you have to cast your vote, look, I've been there. Remember? Once you have to cast your vote, there's a lot of eyes of the world on you. There's a lot of pressure. So you got to have a reason. Like, we had a reason. We wanted to change this place. Kevin, to his credit, helped us change this place, just not as fast and as far, frankly, as we needed to go. So we moved the ball forward. Now let's figure out how to get the right coach in there now to finish the job, or the right quarterback, whatever, analogy you want to use.
Right.
And so we'll see what happens on the floor today. I think it's going to be somewhere around 8 to 10-ish in the first round. And then we're going to have to pull off and go talk to those individuals and try to get them over the hump. And that's just where we are right now. And this is all being laid bare before the world and the American people, that the battle for the soul of this country isn't just red shirt, blue shirt. It's really inside the Republican Party, where we're trying to change the Republican Party to be a party that is fighting for the hardworking American against this town. For too long, this party has been too much of this town. This is a hard effort, and we're going around the clock trying to do it. I'm actually amazed we've taken it as far as we have.
I am too.
You and I both just are watching the country burning to the ground, and we're like, guys, there's no more time. Get the extinguishers and let's get busy rebuilding. So that's where you and I are. That's where the bulk of the Republican Party is moving towards. But we got to get 200 and, sufficient number, 217 plus, in order to get there.
Okay, so let me go over the list of some people that are on the fence and tell me, unless you know some names that could use some nice urging from their constituents today. Who would benefit from that?
Well, let me first stipulate this, and bear out for a second. I have worked with some colleagues over the last 3 days to move the needle. And I said, look, I am not going to get into the personal finger-pointing game, at least until we get to the floor. Now, once you vote, then it's on you. You're going to have to own the vote. So I'm trying to be a little careful, me personally, between now and today at noon. Because you can imagine, there's a lot of personal engagement with individuals to get them over the hump. So what I will tell you is there's a lot of public lists that are pretty darn accurate in terms of the, call it 5, 6, 7. I saw a list today of about 7 that are, the ones that have publicly been saying that, hey, they're going to vote for Kevin McCarthy, or they're going to vote, for Steve Scalise, or they're going to vote for someone else. And it's mostly wrapped around being frustrated that Kevin got deposed by just 8 individuals.
Get over it.
Plus Democrats. And some are frustrated because they thought Scalise should be next man up, and, that didn't happen for a variety of reasons. And some of them are just mad at Matt Gaetz and those that pulled the motion to vacate. And I've just told them, I said, look, you got to get over that, right? That's not what this is about. What this is about is right now unifying in order to go beat Democrats. We have 1 year to the election. We've got to go fight right now to make sure that whatever we do for Israel is very focused, targeted, paid for, and is not used to go be an excuse for Ukraine. We've got to go right now make sure that we go fight to secure the border. We got to go right now make sure that they're not going to do a blank check to Ukraine. We got to go right now fight to hold spending in check and hold this administration accountable. There are 1,000 things for us to be focusing on, and internecine party skirmishes is not one of them. This is a tough thing. Let's get there, and let's go unite for the American people. That is my message right now between now and people voting. Now, once people vote, they got to answer for it. They got to explain why. And it ain't good enough to say, I don't like Matt Gaetz and I'm mad. You got to have a reason. What is your reason? What are you doing? Why is Jim Jordan not the guy right now to help us unite to beat Democrats? That's the question we should be asking every single member who does not vote for Jim at, whatever it's going to be, noon Eastern.
Okay. I'd love to have you on one of my social medias or something after the vote, because I'm finished at noon Eastern time.
Happy to do it.
Okay, good. I'll have somebody reach out. We'll set it up. If then their votes are on their own heads, and let's mobilize people.
Absolutely, and Glenn, we'll be happy to do it and talk about it. And look, everybody out there, though, I can tell you this: call your member of Congress and make sure they're supporting Jim Jordan. Light up the phones all day today, and make sure that your voices are heard.
Okay, thank you, Chip. I appreciate it. We'll talk again soon.
God bless you.
One of the good guys.